So
But some
Forest
people
will have
believe
a
the
hard
ASVAB
time.
doesn't matter.
Hey guys, it's the Loud Guys. Today we are going to watch 8 things people get wrong about the US military. And like I don't know what these things are, because like we know that US military is very strong and very strict. It has all those rigid rules, and there's Navy SEALs and all those people that are very very advanced, high end technology and everything. So we have to see that, okay, like we will see this video and we'll understand, okay, what these things in our mind too. And also, like, if I think so, I cannot say that I feel something about US military and I think that is wrong, because then there is no point of having that opinion itself. So we will see what are those things that are wrong about the US military. So let's watch.
And seriously, I don't have that much idea about this, but the only thing which I know about the American army is that they are strict. They, follow rules and regulations so nicely. They are disciplined, and most importantly, they are so fearless and powerful. So yeah, but there are things people get wrong about the American army. So I'm having so much curiosity to know these things, which we will get to know by after watching this video. So yeah, let's watch the video.
Yes, and if you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe the channel. So let's watch this video.
8 things people get wrong about the US military. Attention soldiers. There are 6 branches of the US military, and
Okay.
each and every one has popular myths surrounding it. Thanks, film and television. But is it true that you can run away and enlist in the army? And how often do you really have to drop and give him 20? Turns out, we've got a lot wrong about how the US military works. Number 1. All veterans have dangerous PTSD. Sadly, studies have shown that of all the Iraq and Afghanistan war veterans, those displaying PTSD make up, at the lowest, 13.5%, and at the highest, 20 to 30% of personnel. There
I
is an
think so this
unfortunate
would be because
stereotype
of the
that these
movies.
veterans are prone to outbursts of violence as survivors of PTSD. In fact, in a 2021 survey of 2,000 Americans, 26% believe that people with PTSD must be violent or dangerous. But this view of PTSD has been exaggerated by the media, leaving the average person to believe anyone who comes back from war is a firecracker waiting to go off. Although it can be a symptom of the illness, it's a myth that PTSD automatically equals a violent person. The overwhelming majority of people with PTSD live regular day-to-day lives upon returning home and do not harm others. Number
feel
2,
sad about
enlisting is easy. There are plenty of TV shows and movies where the troubled young kid runs away and enlists in the army, disappearing from his family seemingly overnight. But this is incorrect. It's nowhere near as easy to join the military as the media makes it out to be. No branch of the armed forces will take someone without at least a high school diploma or possibly a GED. And depending on the branch of the military you want to go into, there can be some strict requirements. Officer positions are competitive and require at least a college degree, although many actually also have a post-grad certification. In the Coast Guard, you can't have more than 3 dependents, and in the US Air Force, you must be a certain height, weight, and vision, among other requirements. But there are 5 pieces of criteria you must meet no matter which branch of the military you're interested in joining.
5 pieces of criteria.
Number 1, we've covered. You need a high school diploma.
Okay.
The rest are:
Same
number
happens
2,
with me.
be a full citizen of the United States or a resident alien. Number 3, be at least 17 years old. Number 4, pass a medical exam. Number 5, pass the ASVAB. ASVAB stands for the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery Test and is part of its own myth. Number 3, the ASVAB isn't important. The ASVAB is a test that assesses your mathematical reasoning, understanding of mechanics and science, word knowledge, as well as your ability to assemble objects. No matter what part of the military you're interested in, you will take this test.
So
But some
Forest
people
will have
believe
a
the
hard
ASVAB
time
doesn't matter and that you can get into the US military without passing this crucial exam.
Joining the army,
This
no?
is not true. Every branch of the US military requires a passing grade in this test, although what that score is varies from branch to branch, with the US Air Force having the highest score requirements to join. Number 4, the drill sergeant will drill you into the ground. Drop and give me 20. Thanks to television and movies, we believe that training is brutal, with a
Yes, it
sergeant
is.
continually screaming in your ear, forcing you into backbreaking amounts of exercise, and the punishment of cleaning the entire mess hall with a toothbrush. But while this may have at one time been true, this is not an accurate representation of the military and its trainers today. The U.S.
Really?
military has now banned hazing in any form and has a zero-tolerance policy for those caught doing it. Although it may still take place, it is no longer encouraged or officially sanctioned. Instead, the U.S. Army calls it fundamentally in opposition to military values, and drill instructors can no longer treat recruits however they may like. Under the Uniform Code of Military Justice, they state, derogatory terms, excessive physical activities, and any abusive or violent contact are now forbidden, and those caught can face severe punishment.
Oh my god, I've seen
Number
so
5,
many
the
movies.
pay in the military is low. Many people believe that those in the military are extremely low-paid public servants who struggle with their salaries.
Really?
But like any other job or industry, pay can vary dramatically in the U.S. military. The base pay for new Army recruits who have been in service for under 2 years is lower at $21,999. But this increases with length of service. 4-star generals who have been in the military for 20 plus years are able to earn a much larger $203,698 per year. And depending on the state and military branch, they may also only be taxed on their base pay, with all extra income their own to keep. Plus, those in the Army are able to stretch their pay further than other professions with additional compensation and benefits, such as providing bonuses for food, health, housing, higher education, as well as being given 30 annual vacation days. Army service can help soldiers pay for college with the post-9/11 GI Bill program, for example, providing steep discounts on tuition, as well as
That is
bonuses
really
for
nice.
accommodation and books. Depending on the length of service, the program can cover some or even all of one's public college fees, and for private and foreign college tuition, up to $25,000 annually.
Why are most of the guys sleeping?
Number 6. Everyone in the military has seen active combat. With troops fighting in the Middle East and stories of active combat on the news, many people believe that everyone in the military goes to war.
I believe the
But the
same.
U.S. military is a huge operation, and there are plenty of career paths and roles that have nothing to do with fighting overseas. For example, you could become a programmer, administrator, civil engineer, or psychiatrist, among many other options. And the newest branch of the U.S. military has nothing at all to do with combat. Called the U.S. Space Force, it was established in 2019 as the
Space?
world's only independent space force. Their concern is dealing with the aliens if they ever beam down.
Oh, really?
Number 7. The Army is where socioeconomically disadvantaged people turn. Across the U.S., there are many people who believe that the Army is usually somewhere people with few options for jobs or money turn. It's believed to be a main choice for socioeconomically disadvantaged individuals in
Yeah.
search of a better life. But the actual makeup of the military does not match this belief. A study in 2020 showed that a diverse range of people are attracted to a military career path, and that the poorest and wealthiest communities are actually underrepresented, with the majority of recruits coming from middle-class backgrounds.
Wow.
An earlier study concurred, showing that most recruits are actually wealthier, more educated, and more rural than most 18 to 24-year-olds.
That's very nice.
Number 8. Soldiers shoot to kill. An active war zone is a horrible place, and it's always assumed that if a weapon is being fired, then it is fired with one intent: to kill the enemy. And while it's true that today's military personnel go through extensive dehumanization of the enemy training, the psychological impact of killing another human being means it's very likely that few soldiers are actually willing to shoot with the intention of killing.
Yes.
Studies into this phenomenon have been inconclusive and conflicting on the actual percentage of soldiers willing to shoot to kill. But there has been corroborating evidence that the number is not as high as you may expect and varies from battle to battle, war zone to war zone. Overall, there is a lot of misinformation and misconceptions about the United States military and what it entails. These are just some of the most common myths that you hear every day.
What an informative video it was, and seriously, America Army is so different from Indian Army because in India mostly people who belong from a rural family do go into the army. Not everyone, but we can say that 50%, 50 or 40% of the people from the who belongs from the rural family goes in the basically join the army. But it's not but it's not like in the America. We got to know that people who belong, mostly soldiers belong from the middle class or from the high class family, and they goes in they join the army. So that's a very good thing. After that, we got to know that if you want to join the American army, then you need to qualify that test. Basically, in that test, they ask mathematics or science questions. But in India, I do think that we have to qualify some written test. But I don't think so. Here comes the questions of maths and all. If it comes, then not that much. It would be around 10 or maybe 40, 50, 10 to 30 marks, not like that much. And after that, we got to know that their salaries are low. Basically, what happens in India, mostly soldiers have low salaries, but we got to know it's not like in America. The soldiers have higher salary, and they live a good life. And it's, if you want to join the American army, then it's necessary to qualify high schooling. And same it implies in India. You should be 12th pass. I mean, you should clear high school. And in India, to join army is I think 18, and in America it is 17. So there is a huge difference between Indian army, Indian soldiers, and American army. So, but if I say truth to you, so I really like the American side one, because firstly their salaries is high. Secondly, strictness is not that much. And thirdly, people, it's compulsory that educate people join army. So I really like the American one.
Yeah, and I think so. In India, it is also believed that only the poor households or the people who are not so like who do not have that much career options only go into military. People also believe the same. I think so. We also need a survey to understand that, okay, is that the case or not? Because there are like very differences. Because like in my state, like Gujarat is known for very less army soldiers, because like we do not send in Gujarat. There are more businessmen, so business related people are there, and there are very people that go into the army. But whereas if you go for Punjab, Haryana, so those are the states, those that send a lot of soldiers, because there you do not have a lot of options, career options. Even Bihar and UP, so they go into the army, and then they find a good job, and it is the job has a good amount of pay if compared to all the other kind of jobs. So that's why it is much better for them. So now we have a dilemma about it. So all the things that he was mentioning, it is about like you feel the same about all the army men. Like he said, okay, the army, all the army men are in a battle, have been in a battle. And the thing is, for Americans it is more easier to say, because like we see America going into all these kinds of wars. For India, all the most wars have been with Pakistan only. So we do not know if we had just one Chinese war. All the other wars were with Pakistan only, and the last war was in 1999. So we do not feel the same with that. Are all of the soldiers have gone into a battle or in a combat mode. So what do you guys think about these 8 points? Do let us know in the comment section below. So do like, share, and
Subscribe.
bye.
Bye.